You can do 10,000 crunches a day. You can starve yourself on celery sticks and water. You can run until your feet bleed, and you will not lose that belly. Why? Because you are fighting the wrong enemy. Most people think belly fat is just fat. It's just stored energy, right? Wrong. What if I told you that the belly fat you can pinch, the jiggly stuff under your skin, is actually completely harmless? The real problem is something you cannot pinch. It is a hidden, parasitic tissue buried deep inside your torso, strangling your liver, choking your pancreas, and destroying your heart. It's called visceral fat. And here is the scary part. You can be skinny everywhere else, arms, legs, face, and still have a dangerous amount of this stuff packed inside you. It's a condition called TOFI, thin outside, fat inside. And it is arguably more dangerous than being obese. But I have some good news. While visceral fat is the most dangerous fat in your body, it is also the easiest to burn off, if, and only if, you know the biological combination code to unlock it. In this video, I'm going to show you that code. I'm going to break down a specific Japanese protocol involving a certain pigment in vegetables, a specific compound in tea, and a 75% rule for movement that was shown to slash visceral fat by 48% in just 2 months. So, put down the weights, stop the crunches, and just hear me out. Let's turn your metabolism upside down for a minute. To understand how to get rid of this, you have to understand what it is. Visceral fat is not like the fat on your arm. The fat on your arm is subcutaneous. It's passive storage. It just sits there like a savings account. Visceral fat is biologically active. It acts more like a gland than fat. It spits out inflammatory chemicals, it messes with your hormones, and it drives insulin resistance. Think of visceral fat like a parasite. It latches onto your vital organs, your liver, your stomach, your pancreas, and it feeds off your inflammation. So how do you know if you have it? Here is the symptom check. Stand up and poke your stomach. If your belly is soft, squishy, and jiggly, that's mostly subcutaneous. That's the vanity fat. But if your belly sticks out like you swallowed a basketball and it feels hard, solid, firm, protruding, that is visceral fat. That firmness is the pressure of the fat pushing out against your abdominal wall from the inside. That is your liver screaming for help. So how do we kill the parasite? We need a 3-step attack. We need to cut off its food supply, block its enzymes, and then burn it out. Step 1 involves your diet. But I'm not going to tell you to just eat vegetables. That's boring, and it's not specific enough. We need to target the root cause of visceral fat. What causes it? It's usually an excess of energy that leads to oxidative stress. Imagine your cells are like a car engine. When an engine runs too hot for too long, it starts to rust. That rust is oxidative stress. Visceral fat loves that rust. It thrives on it. To kill the fat, we need to scrape off the rust. And the most powerful rust remover in the natural world comes from a specific family of compounds called carotenoids. Carotenoids are the pigments that give plants their color. It's the orange in a carrot, the red in a tomato, the deep green in spinach. Now, I found a fascinating double-blind study out of Japan. They took a group of people and simply increased their intake of carotenoid-rich vegetables, specifically carrots and cabbage, for just 8 weeks. Here's what happened. The carotenoids acted like a shield. They neutralized the free radicals, those unstable molecules damaging your cells. And they actually flipped a genetic switch. They turned on the genes that burn fat, and they turned off the genes that store fat. The result? Significant reduction in visceral fat, just by adding color to the diet. So, here is your protocol. You need to eat the rainbow, but not the Skittles version. I'm talking about sweet potatoes, bell peppers, spinach, squash, and carrots. If the food is beige, like bread, pasta, or crackers, it's feeding the parasite. If the food is vibrant orange, red, or green, it's killing it. It's that simple. Now, let's talk about what you're drinking. There is a specific drink that acts like a key for your fat cells. You've probably heard that green tea burns fat. You might think, oh, that's just a myth. It is not a myth, but you have to understand why it works so you don't mess it up. Green tea is loaded with a polyphenol called catechins. The specific one we care about is EGCG. Here is the mechanism, and this is really cool. Think of your fat cells as having a front door. Usually, that door is locked. Catechins help pick the lock. They stimulate your nervous system to boost fat oxidation, burning. But they do something else. They also inhibit an enzyme called lipase. Lipase is the enzyme that breaks down dietary fat so your body can absorb it. When you drink green tea rich in catechins, you are basically putting a bouncer at the door of your gut, saying, no, we aren't letting all this fat in. There was another randomized trial, again, double-blind, placebo-controlled, that showed drinking catechin-enriched green tea for 12 weeks reduced visceral fat significantly. But here is the warning, and this is where people get it wrong. You cannot just buy the sugary, bottled green tea from the gas station. That is sugar water. It will make your liver worse. You want matcha or sencha tea. Why? Because you are consuming the whole leaf, which means you get a massive dose of catechins compared to a regular tea bag. And there is a synergy here. The caffeine in the tea works with the catechins to accelerate the effect. It's a 1-2 punch. The caffeine revs the engine. The catechins unlock the fuel tank. Now we get to the most important part: movement. Diet is great for total weight loss. If you stop eating, you will lose weight. But studies show that while diet shrinks the whole body, exercise is the laser-guided missile for visceral fat. But what kind of exercise? Do you need to run marathons? No. In fact, that might raise your cortisol and make it worse. Do you need to be a power lifter? Not necessarily. I want to tell you about a study that blew my mind. It was a meta-analysis involving 117 different studies. And then there was a specific older study that looked at a very precise protocol. In this study, participants cycled for 45 minutes, just 2 times a week. That's it, 2 sessions. But, and this is the big but, they did it at a specific intensity. They rode at 75% of their VO2 peak. After 2 months, guess what happened? They didn't lose much weight on the scale, and this is why you should throw your scale in the trash. The scale didn't move much, but their visceral fat dropped by 48%. Almost half of their deadly belly fat gone in 2 months, with 2 workouts a week. They also improved their insulin sensitivity by 41%. That is essentially reversing prediabetes. So, what is 75% intensity? You don't need a fancy lab coat or an oxygen mask to figure this out. You just need the talk test. If you are walking and you can sing a song perfectly, that is too easy. That's not 75%. If you are sprinting and you feel like you are going to vomit and you can't speak a single word, that is too hard. That's anaerobic. You want the sweet spot right in the middle. The talk test rule. You are at the right intensity when you can speak in full sentences, but you sound a little winded. You should sound like you just walked up a few flights of stairs. You can talk, but you'd rather not. That is the zone. That is where the magic happens for visceral fat. Now, I have to warn you about a trap that almost everyone falls into. When people want to lose belly fat, their instinct is to starve themselves. They cut calories to 500 a day. They do OMAD, 1 meal a day, improperly. They fast for days without prep. Here is the problem. Data shows that calorie restriction hits a wall. There is a limit to how much dieting helps before your metabolism slows down to protect you. Your body thinks it is starving, so it holds on to the fat. Exercise is different. A recent study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that exercise has a dose-dependent response for visceral fat. What does that mean? It means the more you do, the more you lose. There was no upper limit found in the study. If you exercise a little, you lose a little. If you exercise a lot, you lose a lot. It doesn't plateau the way dieting does. So the strategy is not to starve yourself. You want to eat enough nutrient-dense food, the carotenoids, the proteins, to fuel your body, and then use movement to create the deficit. So let's put this all together into a plan you can actually use starting tomorrow. Step 1, the scavenger hunt. Look at your plate. If it's brown, put it down. Add 1 serving of a deeply colored vegetable to every meal. Carrots, spinach, peppers. This is your shield. Step 2, the liquid key. Swap your second coffee for a matcha green tea. Don't add sugar. Maybe a little lemon juice to help absorption, but keep it clean. You are inhibiting that lipase enzyme. Step 3, the 75% solution. You need cardio. I know, cardio kills gains, bro science, whatever. For visceral fat, you need cardio. Aim for 3 to 4 sessions a week, 45 minutes long. Whether you cycle, run, row, or just walk up a steep hill, it doesn't matter. Just use the talk test. If you aren't slightly out of breath, you aren't burning the belly. And finally, consistency beats intensity. The best exercise is not the one that burns the most calories on paper. It's the one you will actually do 3 months from now. If you hate running, don't run. Go for a ruck, walking with a backpack. Go swimming. Just get the heart rate up. Visceral fat is dangerous. It is the driver of almost every chronic disease we face. But your body is resilient. It wants to heal. It just needs you to give it the right signal. Stop starving it. Start fueling it with the right pigments, and start moving it at the right pace. If this video helped, please like and subscribe.